Hi everyone, welcome to episode 41 of Show Me How It's Done. It is my birthday today, so we had to do a birthday card, of course, and I have been having so much fun with the Expressions in Ink designer series paper that I had to make my card out of that today. So welcome. I hope you're able to tune in and watch me live. If not, that is okay as well. You may be watching on replay, and I'm so excited that you can still enjoy the project. So today, what I would like to do is a few things. I have a beautiful card to show you, and if you stay to the end, I have some draw prizes to give out for those of you who participated in some of my August challenges. So mostly it involved just placing an order. Everybody who placed a $35 order or more got their name into a little bucket for some prizes, and we have done some of those draw prizes already mid-month, but I saved a few to the end of the month because I did have some last-minute orders and I wanted to thank you guys as well. So you have to stay to the end of the video to enjoy that, but let's get crafting. So to make this amazingly beautiful card, we need the artistically inked stamp set as well as the coordinating dies. These can both be found in our Stamping Up annual catalog, so the big giant one. And I've been waiting to play with this set because we had some fun obtaining the proper amounts of paper from our suppliers. So now that it's in stock, I can enjoy the card with you, and you can also purchase the paper instead of, crying a little bit because it's not available. So welcome to those of you who are watching live. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you'd like to follow along, I'm going to shout out the measurements. However, they will also be written out in the comments on my YouTube video, so you can always come back and do them later. But if you're following, we have a card base of polished pink, and this measures 5.5 by 8.5, and that score mark is at the 4 1/4 inch mark, so that when I fold my card in half, I have a card that will just open up like this, and it's got a nice horizontal view for me. A couple other pieces that you'll want to cut right off the bat. You will need 2 pieces. Ooh, getting a sneak peek at my gold ones. There we go. 2 pieces of basic white. These both measure 4 inches by 5 1/4. One of them will be for the inside of your card so that you have something nice to write on. And the other will be for the front of your card. So if you want, you can go ahead and emboss this one. And it just gives you a slight pattern, I don't know if you can see it, at the top of our card. Okay, so we're not embossing with a full embossing folder because we want to be able to stamp in that bottom space. But all I've done is I've taken one of the embossing folders from our Meadow Moments set, and this one is perfect because it's actually smaller than this piece of paper. So when I run it through, I only have about 3/4 of the page that's getting embossed. And if you're interested, the second embossing folder that comes in that pair, so you buy both of them at once, is this beautiful butterfly one too. So that would be gorgeous as well, because you just want something subtle up in the top. So if you had any florals, any leaves, any sort of something that would tie in with your page here, that's good to go. Okay, so I've already embossed this. You can see slightly a little bit of definition in there. And this one is going to get attached straight onto the front of my card. So I'm going to do that now just so that they're both put down and out of my way. And then we do have a couple other pieces to cut, namely some gold foil and some designer series paper. But I'm going to attach these white ones just in case you guys are trying to catch up and cutting your own pieces right now. So there we go. My embossed piece goes right onto the front of my card. And then my plain white piece goes on the inside. You, if you really wanted to, could emboss this one as well. I find this embossing folder leaves plenty of space for you to be able to still write on it. And it just might be something fun for your recipient. I'm going to do it plain in here, like so. Okay. My video, it seems, is having trouble playing, and that is okay. I will just keep going because it's recording and you can watch later. So apologies to those of you who are watching live. Okay, couple more things to cut now. I will need one piece of designer series paper. This is from the Expressions in Ink pack, and I cheated and wrote on the back. So this one is 2.5 by 5 1/4 for this piece. Welcome back to all of you who are live. And 2 pieces of gold foil. So these are 1/4 inch by 5 1/4. So they will be the exact same length as that designer series paper that you cut. So the easiest way to attach these to your card is to actually flip that designer series paper over and to either put some tape or some seal right along these edges on the side here, okay? So these 2 sides, you want a piece all the way down the entire side. And then you can, for good measure, put 2 pieces on the edges as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually only going to take off the long strips to start, like so. And we're going to attach this little gold strip to one of the edges. You can lay it down if you need to. And then the other gold strip to this side. Okay, so if you're laying it down, you just put it straight on your paper here, and you can just nicely rest this on top. Make sure not to press it too hard because we still have some stickiness on the designer paper. And that is how we're going to attach this now to the main card. So I've got my whole perimeter has some adhesive on it, and I'm going to stick this right in the middle of my card here. Okay, so there's my nice band. And I wanted to make this a birthday card. So I grabbed my Evening Evergreen Ink, and I'm just using the sentiment, the happy birthday, from this Artistically Ink set. So remember, these new pads, they are very juicy. So we're just tap, tap, tapping. Don't squish it in there, otherwise you'll get ink everywhere. So just tap, tap, tap. And very gently press down in one motion. You can hold it for a couple seconds to make sure all that ink nicely soaks in. Okay, now I wanted to do a little bit of decorating on my project. So you can hopefully see these gorgeous kind of flowers that come in the set. So all I did was I stamped 2 of them, one of the large flower and one of the smaller, in our, where is it here? Pale Papaya, right there, in our Pale Papaya ink. And I cut them out with the coordinating dies here. Okay, so now that I have these 2 pieces, I thought it would look really nice if we added a little bit of extra color to them. So I am going to now grab a blending brush. You can grab a Kleenex, a sponge, or a blending brush, whatever you have, just to add a little bit of color, and the polished pink ink. So if you're adding with the blending brush, we're just going to gently roll in a circle to pick up some color. And I want my color to be the most concentrated in the center. So I'm actually going to give a nice tap because that will get any clumps of ink off, and I can just work it out now. So I'm going to start in the center and just gently, gently go in a circular motion outward. So you don't need to go right to the edges. And you will also notice that the center of this large flower gets covered. So it doesn't actually matter how beautiful that one is. You just want to make sure that you've pulled a little bit of color. You can also brush outward according to the petals if you prefer, okay? But I kind of like the circular motion in the middle and then just adding a little bit of color here and there. Same idea for my small little guy here, picking up a tiny, tiny little bit, tapping off so I get off that excess, and then really, really small circle here because I don't quite want to reach the edge. I just want a little bit of color in the center here, okay? And it will just blend really nicely in with what I have laid down. Okay, close up your inks so you don't accidentally put a hand in them. And then to attach this together, I'm just using a couple dimensionals on the back of the small piece here. 2, 3, to give me a nice elevated and 3D looking flower. Now, I did think it looked great this way. However, we like gold, we like bling, so we're going to add some of these leaves in here just so that it ties in with the paper that we're resting the flower on. So in order to get some of those leaves, we're going to use one of the 2 really detailed dies that come with this set. So I've chosen to use this branch of leaves here, and I have cut out an entire branch from gold foil. Now get to take some scissors and just chop off 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter which 3 you have. And we're going to tuck them in behind our flower, just in a few different fun places. So you can either attach them straight onto the card like this, and then rest your flower over top, or you can attach them to the back of the flower as well. So my easiest thing is I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the large flower so I can see how it sits. And then I'm actually just going to not take the backings off. I'm just going to rest it on my card and kind of play around and see where I might like those flowers to rest. Okay, and when you're happy, you can just actually lift this off and put a tiny bit of tape over top of the ends of these leaves. You don't have to worry about attaching all the leaf. You actually want them to kind of stick out. Just going to put a little bit of tape. You can use Scotch tape as well if you need to. That's easier for you. But as long as you just cover these stems, our giant flower here is going to cover over everything else that you're doing. Okay, so like so. There we go. So there is my gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful birthday card. And you can also play with various papers from the pack as well. A couple that I pulled out that I thought would also make a really neat background is this gold stripe one. And then I thought this this pale papaya flower one would also look amazing, just simply because there is so much gold in the centers there as well. So those are a couple other ones that I thought would be fun to play with. And if you're coming to my monthly class in September, you may get a chance to also play with this. On the same note, some of you saw my post on the weekend. My husband was going to a wedding, and he had told me previously, like, oh yeah, we're doing a group gift. I signed the card. Then he comes into my office Saturday, like an hour before he's leaving, and I was like, hey, I'd kind of like to give them my own card. Can you make me one? I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of a conference, but sure. So this is what I whipped up since I was, already playing with the paper. And I just cut the entire gold foil background here and added a little decal and some of our clear and silver epoxy gems. So this was kind of a nice stepped up wedding card that I decided to make for his friends. And then it's just a beautiful compliment, I guess, these birthday cards as well. You could certainly make this a thank you or a congratulatory card as well. Okay, No more chatting about cards. Let's go to prizes. Okay, so for those of you who were watching some of my videos this month, I said that I have 2 more prizes still to give away to those of you who placed a $35 order this month. So I have all your names here in this little bucket. And let's see who's going to win a little prize. Okay, prize number 1 is going to Jenna Sharon. Congratulations, Jenna. And prize number 2, oh, I have 2. I'm not looking, switching you around, is going to Barbara Guilfoyle. So congratulations, ladies. Both of you have earned a set of gems. And because it's my birthday and I really like gifts and prizes, there is a little game on my Lauren Scrapblock page that you guys can play. It's called Pick a Present. So every present has a little something in it. That is for if you're in Canada here. You do have to purchase the present to open it, and then you get to see what's inside after all the presents have been sold. Now, I also want to continue the celebration because my birthday is at the end of the month. So everybody else who has a birthday at the beginning, they're like, hey, you can just celebrate all month long. Mine is like the end. I've had to wait for it. So I'm going to celebrate in September a little bit as well. So anyone can participate if you're in Canada. If you place a $35 order with me, you will get your names into a draw for these items here. And I also will have a stamp set from the Celebration promotion that will be up for grab for the monthly members of my club too. So monthly members get to double dip. You get to be in both draws, and anyone can participate in these ones. So I have up for grabs some rhinestones, an ink pad of your choice, or one of these 2 gorgeous ribbons. So any $35 order, you get an entry into the draw. And I look forward to seeing who wins those items as well. So I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to check out my page for event signups. We have 2 things going on this month, which is monthly club. You can come to my house, restrictions allowing, or you can also have a to-go kit. And I also have a penguin class. So make sure to check those out. There's a couple spots left and about a week left for registrations. So I will see you guys later. Enjoy the replay because this didn't work. And I'll see you next week. Bye.